Hey there, I'm Aki and welcome back to another video. Today, the developers of Subnautica Return of the Ancients asked me to do another of my Fiverr videos where I pay artists to create Leviathan concepts, but this time for Return of the Ancients. So in case you guys don't know, they want to add more than just the gargantuan Leviathan. They also want to add what I call the Guardian Leviathan and the giant biter skeleton. I'm actually not quite sure if this is a Leviathan, because I don't think it refers to it anywhere as a Leviathan in the game. But I'm just gonna call it a Leviathan for the purposes of this video. And, of course, they don't want to add them dead, they want to add them alive. So they need some ideas of what they could look like while they were still alive. Now, they already have some concepts for that, but they felt like more is better. So here we are today, and we're going to commission multiple artists and see which one is best. For both concepts, I'll commission a very cheap and a very expensive artist to compare the two prices versus what we actually get in the end, and then see which of the concepts we like most. So essentially, if you want to see that, just share this video with your friends, and if we don't make a loss on this video, I'll do another one. Because yes, these videos obviously cost a lot of money, so I need to somehow be able to make it back. And today, I'm very glad to announce that we have a sponsor for this episode. Raid Shadow Legends. Yes, you've heard of them before, but this month they're celebrating their 3rd birthday. And since you last heard of them on my channel, they've added a bunch of new content. They added the Doom Tower, a new dungeon-like challenge with over 120 levels. In this game mode, you can fight a ton of new, terrifying bosses for awesome rewards. Of course, there are also a ton of new, unique champions. The designers have gone ham over these, and if you ask me, there are some really cool designs in here. And in addition to all of that, there's also a new faction, the Shadowkin. That sounds so badass. They're a warrior tribe from the Far East that were recently freed from the reign of evil. And again, I love these designs. I mean, look at them. And last but not least, the newest, biggest ever addition to Raid is the Hydra clan boss. Okay, it is scary, but in my opinion, also one of the coolest bosses they have. It has multiple heads, each with a different unique ability and strategy you need to defeat it. This boss gives some of the best rewards in the entire game. Talking about rewards, you get some too. Since it's Raid's 3rd birthday, they're giving you an insane amount of goodies. New players that use my link in the description get a special Raid package worth $40. You get 3 free champions, Misericord, Tiger Soul, and Romero, plus 10 Magic, Force, and Spirit XP brews. And all new and old players get extra gifts too. We're talking new champions, new artifact sets, a personal video showing your raid journey, and free in-game gifts worth over $25. To get these rewards, open up the game, enter the promo code 3YearsRaid, and that's it. All of them will be waiting for you right here. Again, you can use my link in the description, or this QR code, for some extra goodies if you're new. Now, I hope to see you in game, and let's get back to the video. So, we of course have to find another character / creature design artist again, so I think this time I'll just look for creature design. I found this artist, which actually has a standard tier for around $25, which I think is pretty good for the cheaper end of the spectrum. We get a source file in color with a full body and commercial use, and it only takes 7 days. So I think let's go ahead and commission them. Again, all of the artists get the exact same description, with the difference that the more expensive ones get an extra task to do. For this one, I just said, "Hi, I'd like you to create a creature concept in the style of the game Subnautica. In it, there are skeletons of extinct leviathans, huge underwater creatures, and I'd like you to create a concept of what they could have looked like when they were alive. Anything that's soft tissue, and therefore not in the skeleton, is up to your interpretation, so feel free to add fat tissue, tentacles, etc. You can also add some extra limbs if you'd like, but it should stay recognizable." And I actually had a typo there. Whoops. Thanks, Aki. And now we'll just attach an image of the Guardian Leviathan. And let's start the order. Now, let's look for another artist around $20 for the biter concept. I really like these concepts, so I think I'll commission this artist for the next one. Their premium tier is actually $20, so that is really cheap. We get a full character and enhanced detailing, with unlimited revisions and also 7 days delivery. They also get the exact same description and an attached image of the biter skeleton. Now, let's start this order as well. Now I think it's time to look for more expensive artists so we can compare the results afterwards. Now the first artist that I noticed is this one. It is Fiverr's choice and I mean, look at this concept, this is perfect. I think this will be a great fit for what we're doing. The basic tier is $20 and the premium is $80. I know this is a little cheaper than 100, but I think it's still a pretty good jump up from 20. They get the same description as the previous two, but with an added paragraph. Please also provide a second perspective or shot of the creature attacking the player's submarine. You can just use a cutout or something similar to this, and then I have an attached image of the sea moth. And since the game is set in a sci-fi universe, you can give it fancy abilities like an electro attack or any other cool ideas you might have. Please include a description of their abilities on the concept. And I'll attach the image of the Guardian Leviathan. Now, let's start the order. Never mind. Now, let's start the order. And again, if you enjoyed these kinds of videos, please make sure to subscribe and share it with your friends so I can keep doing this kind of stuff. Also, join my Discord server. It's pretty cool over there, I promise. We have giveaways, weekly events, super cool bots and more, and you can just chat with me and give me ideas for another video like this. I found this artist with some really cool looking concepts here, and I think they might be our next artist we commission. Their premium package costs $95, which is really close to 100, so I think that's fine. It's 10 days delivery, lots of revisions. We get the source file, high resolution, with a background, full body color, and commercial use. Plus, it looks really cool, so I think, let's go for this one. Also, real quick, future Aki here. This ended up being $150 actually, because I forgot I essentially wanted them to draw two drawings. One drawing just the standard concept, and the other one the creature attacking the submarine or player. So this actually ended up being over $100. And since I also forgot that for the last artist, they also ended up being over $100 with $128. They get the same description as the previous person, just in this case, they get an attachment of the biter Leviathan. Now, let's start the order. And of course, any of these artists can come to me for any questions they might have and I'll explain it further, but I think we're done for now. All I can do now is wait, and I'll be back with you guys in about 2 weeks. Well, that was fast. We are back. It's been just over 2 weeks, and I've gotten all my concepts back, and I have to say, you guys are in for a treat. Also, thank you guys so much for 200,000 subscribers. You guys are insane, and I have a really cool project I wanted to release as my 200 subscriber. Yes, 200. As my 200,000 subscriber special, but it's sadly taking a little longer, but I promise you, the wait will be worth it. Let's take a look at what we got. The first artist we commissioned was for $25, and this is what they delivered. They came up with 4 different ideas for what the Leviathan could have looked like, and they were pretty much spot on with what I expected them to do. They kept the basic shape of the skeleton we know, and then added onto it with their own ideas. We first have this yellow Leviathan with some really interesting fins, I have to say. This green/teal one, which I also really like, I especially like the back here. And then we have these two. The blue one is amazing in my opinion. It's like an even better armored giant version of a bone shark. And then probably my favorite one down here, the cyan one. I don't know why it's my favorite, but I just love the tail in this one. It looks so creepy, and I think it would fit perfectly for this creature if it was still alive. And again, for $25, we got 4 different colored concepts, and the quality of these is extremely high too. I am very happy with this one. This artist didn't really give the Leviathan any abilities, because I don't think we asked them to. So, if you guys have any ideas what this Leviathan could do, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. The next artist we commissioned was this one, for $20. They had some really cute concepts in here, and I was very interested to see what they could do with a Leviathan for Subnautica. And this is what they came up with. I absolutely love this concept. As you can see, it is very heavily related to the Ghost Leviathan in my opinion. I mean, the color scheme, the like translucency in its tentacles, and the entire biome around it also looks like the void. And in case you didn't notice, that's the player. This looks awesome, and I could totally see this being in the void alongside Ghost Leviathans, just to terrorize you whenever you go there. I really like what they did with the fins in the front, where they didn't really just keep it as regular fins, but actually added tentacles at the end of them, which I think is a really unique idea, and I don't think I've ever seen an artist do something like that on this series, so props to them. I am also very happy with this concept, but yet again, they didn't give it any abilities, so you know what to do. Oh yeah, because I was also a little confused when I saw this. This is actually the Biter Leviathan concept, not the Guardian Leviathan. I know it looks very similar to the Guardian Leviathan, but the earlier concepts looked a lot closer to the Biter Leviathan, and I think it's just the perspective that's kind of messing it up. Next up, for the $80 tier, which actually ended up being about $120 because we of course had to get 2 concepts. Which actually is a huge discount. I mean, they could have just doubled the price, so props to the seller for that, of course. But let's go take a look at what they did. And this is what they came up with. This is obviously the Guardian Leviathan, and it is terrifying. I love the idea of giving them a ton of little legs on its belly, and that might just be because I really hate crawling things, but that is so terrifying. That tail, combined with all those legs, just, no thank you. And this time they actually provided a description, so let's go ahead and read it. Tough giants of a bygone era. These leviathans survived extremely harsh environments, withstanding countless storms and tsunamis, and ruling the depths of the ocean for many years. Now, tsunamis in Subnautica aren't a thing, but I'm also wondering, would tsunamis affect the ocean floor? I'm sure one of you guys knows that. Guys, do we have any ocean researchers in the comment section? If you know anything about that, make sure to let me know in the comments, because I don't think they should, right? It's just a wave on the top, right? I don't know how tsunamis work. Due to its heavy exoskeleton, it remains in the deepest parts of the ocean. It uses its legs to dig under the ocean floor, then suddenly resurface, creating a huge whirlpool, spiraling downward and ensnaring its prey. I really like this idea for its ability. It's kind of like a whirlpool torpedo for the sea moth, but it can do that on its own to trap its prey. And yeah, you definitely don't want to be caught in that. That looks terrifying, and I would probably uninstall after that. I think this concept is amazing, and for the $128 that we paid for it, I think it's worth it. And last but not least, this artist, where we ordered the premium tier for $95, but of course, 2 concepts again, which added up to $150. Which again is also a discount, so I mean, all these artists are being really nice with the prices, I have to say. And this is what they came up with. Now this is probably the most interesting concept of all of them, because they completely transformed the creature. As you can see, this is obviously the Biter Leviathan, but it is so terrifying. I mean, look at that. This is like a Lovecraftian creature, and I love it. It has tentacles with electromagnetic pulses that can disable engines and shock almost every living being. And the poisonous ink contains potent neurotoxins and acid. It can be effective against living and mechanical things. So basically, if you drive through its ink with your Cyclops, you're gonna have a problem because it's gonna flood. And if you don't use your Cyclops, it's just gonna shock you. Or just shock your Seamoth, and you can't use that either. So yeah, if you come across this Leviathan, you're basically screwed. Here's the side view of it, and that tail is terrifying, and I love it. I really like this concept of like this slimy tail and the front being armored. And I definitely like the idea of having Subnautica Leviathan excrete ink, because I think that's something a lot of animals on Earth do, but none of the Leviathan concepts we've commissioned so far, and none of the Leviathans in the game actually do that. This is another one of these Leviathans where I definitely don't want to come across them. But I could totally see this being in the Lost River and like hiding underneath the brine. And if you get too close, it just jumps up at you and, well, you're screwed. Again, huge props to all of these artists. I really love their ideas and concepts. I think all of the artists we commissioned this time nailed the style, nailed what I gave them as instructions, and also nailed the final concept. I think this might be one of the best paying artist episodes we have so far. So I really hope you enjoyed it. And hey, if we're lucky, the Subnautica Return of the Ancient Devs might actually take one of these concepts. Let me know which of these was your favorite in the comments down below. Subscribe, share, like, whatever, you know the drill. And join my Discord server. So yeah, I'll hope to see you there. Goodbye!